All day long, for every day of our lives, we use the word I. Every moment to refer to our experience. We continuously refer to the word I. So in spiritual practice, it's very useful to ask ourselves from a deep place, what does this I refer to in our actual experience? So every day, when we were a child, when we're a teenager, when we're a young adult and moving on through adulthood and into old age, we've always referred to this same word, I, as identifying ourselves. But what does it actually refer to in our actual experience all the time? So it's pretty clear that this refers to that which has been present with us for every moment of our life. It's that which has never been apart from us. There's not a moment in our lives when this I, this sense of I, is not present. Even in deep sleep, we say, I slept when we wake up. When we're dreaming, we say, I dreamt. I am dreaming. So it's also useful to ask, what is it exactly that has been, or more precisely or more specifically, that has been present with me every moment of my life? So in our culture anyway, we're pretty addicted to thinking that I refers to our thoughts. We follow our thoughts. We attach to our thoughts. We rely on the energy of our thoughts to tell us the way things are. But as I talked last month about the actual experience of thinking, we realize that thoughts are always arising and then vanishing. They're always, in a way, moving away from us, arising and disappearing. But that which has been with us, always ever present, the awareness that's always here and now, is there before the thoughts arise, while the thoughts are present to us. And after that, after specific thoughts, individual thoughts dissolve, our actual presence, our presence of being, our awareness of being present is unchanged, unaffected by the content of our thinking. So this sense of I, apart from the thought, I am this or I am that, this sense of I is not contingent upon thought. It's not defined by thought. It's not limited by thought. So this sense of I is actually free of thinking, although it is what manifests thinking. It's what provides the opportunity for our thinking to arise. It's not dependent. Our actual presence is not dependent on our thinking. So this sense of I does not refer to thinking. It includes thinking, but it's beyond the confines of our thinking. So we tend to think also that our body has remained with us all our life. One of the ways we refer to our self in our bodily existence is that, yes, our body has always been here. It's grown and changed, but it's always been here. Always been with me every moment of our life. And though that's true, the awareness that we are, our presence, that actual presence that has no objective qualities that we can grab onto or define, is there prior to the body. The body disappears when we go to sleep. The image of our body disappears when we go to sleep and then reappears when we wake up into our waking state. So though it's our sense about having a body and being in the body is always with us every moment of our lives, the actual image of a body, when we look down from our eyes at our torso and our legs and our feet on the ground, it's just an image, like any other image in the world we look out to. It's there, but without the actual presence, say the screen of awareness, our field of vision that includes, that melts into all of our experience together, all of our thinking, feeling, hearing, and seeing. It's all one mystery. And the awareness that we are is not dependent on a body, on the physical body. So all we really know of our body is a collection of intimate sensations and images and perceptions. But all we know of this continuous body are discontinuing images and sensations. So this I, this presence we are, doesn't refer to the body exclusively. This sense of I is the most important word in our lives, but what does it actually refer to? So we are attached to this I thought. I am this, I am that. If you take the word traffic, take the thought traffic, and we hear the sound of the traffic, follow that thought back to its source. So our attention goes to the sound of the traffic. Or take the thought of our foot. Our attention goes to that experience of our foot. If we take the thought I and trace that I thought back to its source, it can become like a doorway going to a seeming, the background of awareness, or the background of the mind. That which, from the point of view of a separate self, that which appears to be behind the field of our awareness, our visual awareness. In other words, the presence looking out of our eyes sees an objective world, and our body, the image of our body, is part of that. So there's this seeming background of awareness that is actually nowhere. Shut your eyes and you get the experience of nowhere. That'll just come to you. There's no effort involved. It's what we actually are, this experience of being no thing in particular. So if we follow that thought, that I thought, back inwardly, and don't let our thoughts get caught in the object, we come to the pure knowing of thought dissolving, thought not being an actual thing, sounds not being an actual thing, sights not being an actual thing, feelings not being an actual thing. And also that thoughts are not a thing. It can be a little confusing when the Buddhist teachings, the Buddhist sutras will say, there's no such thing as form. There's no such thing as sound. there's no such thing as feeling, and there's no such thing as thought. So when we trace that I thought back to its source repeatedly through the presence of contemplation on our actual experience of being, we come to a gradual realization that this I, this thought of I, not the thought I am this or I am that, not the thought I am a person, not the thought that I have attributes like beauty, wisdom, love, or hatred, delusion, suffering. But the I that actually is always here and has always been here with us. It's personal. To us, it's personal because we think we're a person. When we begin to realize that we are, or rather, when we begin to realize that this awareness that's always been here, this sense of I that's always been here, is not confined to the body or to personal experience, then our attachment to the personal begins to dissolve. We begin to transcend the personal, but we include the personal. The freedom of this awareness that we actually always are frees us to freely be the personal wholeheartedly. Because the fullness and the wholeness of our actual nature is the fullness and the wholeness of our actual experience. It's the source of all actual experience. And we're free to enjoy it, our actual experience, with the happiness and the joy of freedom, with the happiness and the joy of love.